艾森豪航空母舰上起飞，美军战机前往也门展开空袭任务，海空联合展开打击，抢救红海危机。军事专家强调，美国与盟军共同作战，不只要解救繁忙的海运航线，也是在检验美国海军的实力。
It's a world war. It would anything that happened would likely spread to other regions, and I think that's one of the things that the Red Sea sort of demonstrates to us is we never know where the maritime threat might come up, and we have to make sure we have sufficient force structure to meet that. That is going to be the real challenge of the next decade.
这次美军出击，阿利伯克级驱逐舰发挥很大的效益。面对也门武装组织胡塞频频展开无人机攻击，还有飞弹的袭击，都成功拦截。但专家担心，依照现在美国海军的结构，恐怕疲于奔命。
At the end of the Cold War, the analysis said we needed 600 ships if we wanted to maintain sea control against the Soviet fleet in the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Mediterranean. There was still a trade-off there because we basically said we couldn't do the Persian Gulf. That would require more ships. Then that threat went away, and the size of the surface fleet has been gradually reducing down to about, since 2001, 2002, it's been anywhere between 280 and 300 ships.
而且要拦截武装部队使用的各种精准导引武器，美军要花的成本其实相当高昂。
But when you start to look at the cost-benefit analysis, and you have to do that over time, these become expensive, options. You're talking about shooting down drones that cost $20,000. With a standard missile that's a little over $2 million.
专家认为，按照现在紧张的地缘政治情势，美国海军不但必须扩大规模，而且升级，尤其应对中国大陆大量的反舰飞弹，又要考验不同的军事实力。
As scary as the PLA rocket force is, in terms of the weapon systems they have, and the long-range anti-ship missiles, those units by themselves can't find anything. They're just missiles on trucks. So something has got to find those targets for them.
美军还要积极应对，像是无人机这种新型武器，加装电子相关设备进行干扰。
I don't know the details of what all is in that electronic warfare package, but I can imagine, it's the tools they need to deal with the really quite impressive missile threat that they're now facing from the Chinese military.
但就怕中国大陆一旦火力全开，美军在军事设备上还是会捉襟见肘。
The People's Liberation Army of China has a very mature reconnaissance strike complex, as they call it, which is a combination of land-based radars, satellites, aircraft, etc., that can reach out and look a very long way, potentially. And they've got weapons that can reach out a long way, too, in terms of different types of missiles that they've developed.
目前，美国海军正在为现役的阿利伯克级驱逐舰升级，也计划在2027年之前增加9艘驱逐舰。
And the fact that they may not be keeping up ship by ship with the Chinese doesn't necessarily mean it can't meet the mission. What has to be done, and hasn't really been done as well as it should have been done, is a thorough analysis of requirement. With that done, you can learn a whole lot more about where we ought to be investing.
军事专家强调，目前全球政治情势以及武器都在快速变化，美国海军必须跟得上潮流，做出调整，才能因应越来越紧绷的国际情势。TVBS 新闻综合报道。
想看最完整的新闻内容，记得下载TVBS 新闻网 APP。